Now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be marching down the street, very proudly, in our kilts and bagpipes. Today we're talking about the King's Kilt. This is a small card game from Eagle Gryphon Games, part of their Egg series games that they're talking about. 2 to 4 players, takes 20 minutes to play. In this game it's got a little bit of intrigue where you are a hidden clan. You have 3 different types of clans that you're keeping hidden, and you're trying to create this pyramid of power and get your clans to rise to the top of power without letting them know so much, maybe bluffing. There's some intrigue there as to which one you may or may not be, and you're trying to get to the top. Let me show you how it's played. Here are the 8 different clans that you can have in King's Kilt. Now what happens is at the beginning of the game, these get shuffled, one of each of these, and each player is going to randomly get 2 of these. So maybe I would have gotten Macbeth and Hamilton, let's say, and someone else got Douglas and Bruce, and let's say the other player got these 2 and the other player got these 2. So there's 4 players playing this. After that, we randomly give everybody 1 more clan member after shuffling up the rest of the deck, and you have to make sure that everyone has 3 unique clans. Once everybody has 3 unique clans, the game starts. So for example, these are my 3 clans that I have in the game that I'm going to be trying to score with. Now these are hidden, these are secret. You never let anybody see any one of these cards unless you're forced to, and I'll get to that later, but these are your secret, say, factions or clans here that you'll be trying to score with. So once everyone has made their 3 clans down and they're secret, each player is going to randomly get 5 clan member. These are going to be influence cards. So they look the same as the other ones, and they quite are. But these are going to be cards that you're going to be able to use to influence the pyramid of clans and the power vacuum. And I'm going to show you this in a moment. So again, these are hidden as well, but you want to keep them separate. So that's your hidden agendas. These are the ones that you keep in your hand that you'll be playing a little bit later on. You get 5 for 2 or 3 players, or 4 in a 4-player game. There is then a deck constructed with the rest of the cards that weren't passed out to people, and there's clan leaders. So it's basically the same clans, but they have a black front because there's 16 of these cards, 2 of each clan, and this goes on the top. What this means is that at the beginning of the game, there's going to be a pretty even distribution of clan members. So it's the first 6 cards from that from the top of the deck, which will be the black cards here, bring up the beginning of the pyramid, the bottom of the pyramid. And it's possible to have a duplicate here, but there's only 2 of the same cards in the first 16 cards, so it doesn't happen that often, but it can happen. In this case, we have clans of all different types here to start the bottom of the pyramid. So the person with the closest Scottish descent gets to go first. And there's one of 2 things you can do on your turn. The first thing you do is you can advance a clan member. You can take any clan member and basically advance them up the pyramid. And what happens is, let's say, let's see, one of my secrets is Macbeth. So what if I advance Macbeth up to here? Now the only way that can happen is, now this opens a spot here, and because we're at the bottom of the pyramid, this would get filled by a card, and this player is supported. So we have Macbeth moving up there. So maybe the next player moves this guy like this, and then fills this up like this. Now who do you move? Well, that's the really big part of the game. Do you want to move up people that are yours, or do you want to move up other people for bluffs? You might be moving up other people because you have some certain cards in your hand that you're going to play on them later, and I'll show you that. So then, now obviously to get someone here, we'd need, maybe this person gets moved up here, and a card comes up like this, and it's supported. They just have to make sure, this is called the power vacuum. Now, let's watch this. So let's say the next person moves this guy up here. Now this can happen because he's supported on the left side here, and then he can get supported by this guy here, which then now another card gets flipped up and puts here, so they're all sort of supported there. Now let's say these guys weren't here yet. Now when you're moving up, this guy could move up to here and then get filled and supported there, or this guy could move up here and get supported there. So you've got choices as to which side you actually do. So let's put those back like that. So I fast forwarded the game a bit here. We're getting, we're on the 3rd row there. Now remember, not only did I have my 3 secret clans that are kept secret, I also, in this case, I got 5 cards of clan members. So the first action we showed you to do is just advance a clan member, as we showed you, putting guys up like this, and then the power vacuum, he could say, which guy gets promoted there. Maybe he promotes this guy, and then he brings this one up like that. That was the first way of doing it. The second thing you could do is you can use a clan member to betray someone. So what you can do is, I can play any card I want. It can be a matching card, or it could be a non-matching card. It does not matter which one. Let's say I play this Bruce. I can play this card on this clan member. What this does is this guy influences this guy, Macbeth. Bruce influences Macbeth, and he tells Macbeth bad things about one of the guys that are surrounding him, any one of them. So I play this card on Macbeth, and basically I say, I want you to kill, let's see, my secret guy is not Wallace, so let's say I want this guy to kill him. So you play this down, this guy kills him, boom, both of these cards are discarded out of the game and that guy's gone. Sometimes it creates sort of a vacuum. So what if somebody else played this on this guy and says, I want you to kill this guy. Well, this and this are gone, and the person who played the card is the one that decides who gets up and fills up all the spots below it in what's called that power vacuum. And that's how it works all in the first 3 rows of the pyramid. So for instance, here's the first 3 rows, and then after the first 3 rows, there's going to be some cards. So I'm going to kind of zoom into just the top 3 rows of the pyramid. So this is actually the 3rd level of the pyramid, and this is going to be rows 4, 5, and 6. And notice there's cards put next to those levels. So that is the 4th row. You can see it highlighted in red. Those are the noblemen's. 5th row is the guardians, and the top is the 6th, the king, essentially. So here we are. Here's that 3rd row. And this is row 4. As soon as someone advances the first card to this level, let's say someone advances this guy here, and through the power vacuum, this guy gets put up here. As soon as the first card on this row is there, everybody except the player to the right of the person that placed this card has to take one of their secret agenda cards and face it up so everybody can see it. So now everybody knows that I'm going for, let's say I probably would have gotten rid of this one, MacLeod. So everyone knows I'm going for MacLeod, and somebody else would have had one of theirs out there as well. Everyone except the player to the right of whoever played this. First card on this row. Now, as soon as you're on these last 3 rows, anytime you want to kill or betray somebody here, before, you remember you could play any card on somebody and betray anybody near them. Now in this case, you actually have to play the exact card to betray somebody. So if I want to kill this Bruce, and maybe I have a Wallace card, I will put this Wallace card on this Wallace card. It has to be the same. Now I can kill somebody on any of the top 3rd rows that's adjacent to this. So in this case, I'm going to kill Bruce with this. These 2 cards are gone, and then maybe the power vacuum comes, and I have filled them up from the below the pyramids and up to there. Now again, as things move on and people are moving things up and clans are moving up through the pyramid, now we've got another row. And again, as soon as somebody puts somebody up there, whoever put that there, again, everyone but the player to his right has to now place another one of their secret agenda cards out. So as it gets closer to the top, more and more information about who you're controlling is there. And again, if you want to kill anybody on this row or this row, you have to use the exact card. For example, if I wanted to kill this specific Stuart character, and I could basically say I have a Hamilton card, he's going to influence this Hamilton, it has to be the same, I'm going to kill these guys. Boom, they're gone. And then that's that. And then maybe the next player moves this guy up, and then this would flow up, and as you can see, the game flows like that. And it continues. So anybody that's getting killed in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, you have to influence with the same clan member. Otherwise, if it's lower rows, you can influence with any member. That's the biggest rule mistake that some people make in the game. But it's a cool one, because as you get up top, you got to remember which cards you want to play and which ones you don't. Now, eventually, what's going to happen is the pyramid's going to get full. People are going to move up, and eventually somebody is going to be crowned the king, like that. And as soon as that happens, and then someone will get filled up here. As soon as that king gets crowned, we have some scoring to do. Players will continue to play or pass. Now remember, players had 5 of these cards in this game with 2 or 3 players at the beginning, and they're playing them to sort of influence, as I showed you. And when you get to this point, when it's your turn, you can still influence, because you might want to kill this Wallace guy, and of course you would need to play, maybe an exact Macbeth to now kill the Wallace and move them up. But you can either continue to play if you have cards left, or pass. If you pass, you're done for the game. As soon as everyone's passed or played all their cards, whichever pretty much happens first, the game ends and we score. And this shows scoring 3, 2, and 1. So if you have this Wallace, any Wallace basically, as one of your secret agendas, you'll get 3 points. If you have any of these 2 clans, you'll get 2 points for each of those. And if you have any of these 3, you'll get 1 point. So again, at the top of the 3 pyramids, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point for any of the secret clan members that you have there. Whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. And of course, once everyone's passed, everyone would then reveal their secret clan members. Some of them may have already been revealed due to what I showed you earlier. But once they're revealed, you count those points up, and the winner's the one with the most points. And if there's still a tie, so the perfect score is 10 because it's 3 plus 4 plus 3. And then if it's a tie, whoever still has the most influence cards left in their hand would be the winner. And if it's still tied, you share the victory. All right, I was interested in this game because you may know that my favorite game of all time is Nothing Personal. And in that game, aside from the great negotiation, which really makes that game what it is, it has that pyramid scheme where you're gaining influence on guys and you're hoping for that they'll move up, and you're taking somebody on the top, and hopefully you're the one that gets to fill all the positions and move your guys up the pyramid. And I really liked the idea of this because it's like, hey, it's like a 20-minute, very mechanical version of Nothing Personal, but yet it has some hidden information and bluffing. Cool. Overall, I think it plays pretty well. For a short little filler, I liked it. It's not like Game of the Year. It's not going to blow me away. It's not going to be when I push on everybody when they come over. But it's a solid little filler. I like the intrigue. It's best with 3 or 4 players. 2's okay. It's not a bad game, but I think it shines with more as, there's more intrigue. You can work with other players. You're watching what other players are doing. You might be working with one player one moment and then killing off one of his clans the next moment. He might be helping you out without even knowing it. And there's more interaction like that with more players. So 3 or 4 I like it better with. I like the idea of you've got those hidden clans. You're not sure which one's which. You may or may not be working with somebody else's clan. You just don't know. You're trying to figure out what they're doing. I like the aspect of bluffing. At the beginning, you're moving these guys up. Maybe I'll move Wallace up. Maybe I'll move him up again a little bit later. And they're going to think I have Wallace. They're going to start killing them off if they don't have him. But I don't have Wallace. Maybe by bluffing, they have moved up one of my guys. So I like it. And really deciding when to use those cards. You only get a limited amount of those influence cards to use to betray people, to kill them off. And you've got to really figure out when to use them. You don't want to be the first person to that 3rd or 4th pyramid, because then you got to relieve one of your cards and show everybody that. You want the player to your left to do it. So trying to plan for that. So for a light game where you only have 2 actions, there's quite a bit of depth there and a little bit of intrigue, a little bit fun. I liked it. It was solid. I'm going to keep it because I like small fillers that have a good amount of depth with easy rules. And I love that pyramid scheme from Nothing Personal that they kind of used here and Cronin used in the past. I just like that. And you add that bluffing and you add the intrigue. It was a fun ride. That is King's Kilt.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.